Hello, RSRAers. Okay, so obviously the macro debacle of 2022 has hit, and as a result, a bunch of leagues, including RSRA, are going to be requesting data, so the IBT files out of iRacing, straight out of the telemetry folders. So I just want to run through everyone how you go about doing this. Need to make sure that obviously your telemetry is recording, and there is ways you can do that manually, but automatically is the best way so that you don't forget to do it, and that way you don't risk the potential of being disqualified for a round or 2 or 3. So just a quick one. So first step is certainly you need to open up, if you run VRS, this is an important one. Bring up your VRS telemetry app, open that up. Under settings, there is a little thing called backup disk telemetry files. As a default, that is not ticked. Okay, so make sure that is ticked and then hit apply. That way it will keep the telemetry files on your local drive. Otherwise, everything gets uploaded to VRS, and effectively you lose it off your local drive. I'm not sure if you can re-download that, but pain in the ass. So click apply, make sure that is ticked, apply, and you're done. So that's first step. Nice and easy. Second part is in the app ini file. Okay, so iRacing, so just go wherever you've got your iRacing installed. 99.9% of people have it in documents /iRacing. Open up your app ini file. Okay, so from there you can scroll all the way down to miscellaneous. We'll get there. I've probably gone past it. I did. Okay. So here's the important bits. So automatically log disk telemetry. So that means that whenever you get into a server, it will automatically do telemetry. Okay. If you want to manually do it, you hit Alt L. Okay. And that starts recording data. But otherwise, what you can do is make sure that this is set to 1. Okay. 1 means it will automatically happen. 0 means you have to manually do it. So make sure that's on 1. I have 1, 1, and 1. Okay, so limit file size to 1 means that files under 100 meg or 100,000 kilobytes will be kept on your local drive. Okay, that's important if you're running in leagues where they're going to request telemetry files for qualifying and things like that. Small files need to be kept as well. Outside of that, you have got the option of log the current setup to telemetry. Now this one is an extremely important one. Okay, there's teams that obviously have their own setups. They don't just run a generic VRS set or something like that, and obviously people are protective about their setups. It's important that you as a team, driver, owner, manager, whatever you are, have that set to 0. Okay, 0 means, and I'll show you where this happens later, but 0 means that it will not upload your setup, your car setup information into the iRacing telemetry file. Okay, it will only upload telemetry. So pedal, brake, gear shift, all those inputs that you do in the car will upload. The actual physical setup of the vehicle will remain anonymous. Okay, so you won't have your setups shared to the league administrators or the league scrutineers when they review the data, so they can't see what the hell your setup is, which is, you know, a lot of teams feel quite comfortable about that. So that one there, that is completely on you. Make sure that you have that set to 0 and it will not log it. What I will say though is that if that is set to 0 and you're running VRS with a team, that your setups will not automatically upload. Okay, so that's just food for thought, but that's the step. Really crystal clear, quite simple. Once you have all those set, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, very simple. Okay, just go File, Save, and you're done. Yep, that's easy. Step 2, finished. Okay, so from there, where is the telemetry file? Okay, little shortcut I've got, but again, still in documents and iRacing, down to telemetry. Okay, and this is where all of your telemetry files will sit. All right, So these are the IVT files that will be requested of you to be supplied by the league. So important that these are here. So I suggest testing, making sure that, you know, when you're doing test sessions, that it is keeping them there. They will appear during a session, but if you don't have the settings correct, they'll disappear at the end of the session. So you need to make sure that they are constantly there. All right. Basically, the league will provide you a link as to where you can copy and paste that or upload it, whatever the term needs to be, and you can drop it and put it into there, where the scrutineers will then review that data. Again, if you've done the settings right, it will only be inputs, not physical car setups. All right, so that's where that is. So that is the file that you will be asked to supply. Now, what does that all mean? So just for, I guess, a bit of validation for people, so using the Motec software, obviously, you know, VRS and all those bits and pieces are the same, and we can go through that as well if you want, but we'll just use Motec as an example. So basically you'll go file, you know, scrutineers will look at it, whether it's via VRS or here, does not matter. Okay, straight away you can see there's no setup information there. Okay, so absolutely no setup information. Now if I was to go and look at this one down here, for example, which is Mosport, which is just a pre-qual, just to make sure that the baseline setup is working. Bang, there you go. Okay, that is the baseline iRacing setup. Mosport pre-qual with every single bit of information. Okay, now that's not what teams want. We get that. Here's one from a recent session, okay, that does not show any of that information. If you do it correctly, that's what will be provided to every league that you're racing. Okay, really simple. And then obviously, you know, the league will look at that from a data input point of view, and then they'll start looking through the bits and pieces that they need to look at. All right, so that's really in a nutshell what it is that you need to do to ensure that if requested, remember, it's not just the quickest guy, it's everyone in the entire field that can potentially be checked at any point. So you need to make sure that this is working. You don't want to be in a position where you can't supply the data when required. So they're the steps, pretty straightforward. Feel free to watch it back if you need to. But other than that, have yourselves a wonderful day.